with any question. Do we have any question from the last section? Please question if you have any from the last section before we proceed. So let me assume that there's no question. So which means we have to proceed. All right. So if I could remember, the last thing we did in our last class was somebody should help me to notify them in the group that we have started, please. And since we have just 6 people here out of 14. Okay, so the last thing we did was how to add pages. But before that, we started with how to check pages that came with the installation of the theme and the templates, which I said you go to page, then from there you select all pages that we review all the current pages. And then after that, we are able to learn how to delete some unwanted pages. So, which means supposing you install a WordPress template, you discover that there's a particular page that came with the installation and you want to remove it. You don't need it. So I actually install a new template. So as you can see here, we have sample as one of the page I don't need. So I have to select it and then go to move to trash and then apply the action. So with that, I have removed that particular page. So if there's any other page that I want to remove from the one I inherited from the installation, I can as well follow the same step and remove them. Then after that, we now learned how to add new pages. So which means that supposing you have some pages that are not here. For example, we added admin, we added some other pages that very day. You can as well proceed to add new page that will allow you to add more pages. Then we also learned how to add the pages we have added to your navigation bar, where we went to appearance, and then from there we click on the menu. So I'm only trying to recap before I take off for tonight's topic. Then I also explain how you can use this environment. Said, for example, here on our navigation bar, we are going to have just this number of pages displayed: home, about, collection, blog, contacts. But we have shop, we have cards, we have checkout, we have my account, which are not added. So those ones that are not required to be displayed at the top in your navigation bar, but they exist anyway. So I think that was what we did. Explain how you can create sub pages. Then you can use the order of placement of this link to create a sub link. All right, so I believe that will have been settled. Like I said, I'm working with another template. I feel that that particular one is not, it's not good enough for me to explain some core functions in WordPress. So if I may just, okay, so I have enough pages actually to work with. So I can work with About Us, work with Contacts, and also work with Homepage. Because our focus tonight is to start developing the contents. Because what we have done so far is we have a template with content inside, which are not our own. So our focus tonight is how we can start customizing the WordPress theme and template to become our websites. So, and I shall be focusing on 3 pages, starting with the home page. And then later, if the time permits us, we should be able to edit 3 pages. So what I want you to do is to have your writing material to be noting the steps, the way we are applying them. Then later you can go through it and do the same. So if we go back to our slides, I think we stop at, was it this? We've done legal pages, done that. We have also done header and footer. Have we really touched header and footer? Let me see if we have homepage design. Okay. So we are at header and footer, header and footer. So let's start from there. Like I said, what do we mean by header and what do we mean by footer in website design? The word header means the top of your website, the topmost part of your website, while footer means the bottom of your website. In between the top and the bottom, that is where you have the main body, which is where you are expected to display the contents you are advertising to the audience. So the essence of the header is for us to have what we call navigation bar, because the navigation bar constitutes navigation links that helps the users to navigate around your website. So I'm going to start with that header. So I'm going to focus on the header. So indirectly, the header, I am talking about the navigation bar. So let me open the front end so that I can be showing us some of these components I am talking about. So like I told us in that last class, always have your front end open side with the back end of your WordPress so that whatever you are developing in your front end, sorry, your back end, you can assess how it's being presented to the user. So this is the website I am going to customize, the theme I installed, like every one of us have done as well. So like I was explaining header now, so the header is this particular section where you have Zil computer training, where you have this menu, these links. So the whole of this section is called the web header. Like I said, the web header contains navigation bar. And in the navigation bar, you have navigation links. The navigation links are like doors in your house that takes users from one room to another within that same house or outside the house. So that is how we should be seeing these links. We should be seeing them as navigation links. So in other words, the user right now is on the landing page. I think I explained in our last class what a landing page is. The landing page is the first page the user gets to once they activate your URL on a browser, just like we did now, www.digitechie.com.ng. So the browser being the vehicle did not take us to About Us content. neither collection content. Instead, the browser landed us on the home page. So from here, it is expected that once you are done accessing the content of the home page, you can now navigate to another content by clicking. So you can see that as I am clicking, I have moved from the home page to About Us page, and right now I'm seeing different content. So if I go to collection, that is going to also give me different content. But there's something I want us to notice, which we are going to touch in a moment. We notice that outside the home link, other navigation link have the same header design. Once I go to the home now, you see that the home header is having different design from other link. So we will get to know how or where you can edit that. Now, the focus in mind, why this home is a bit unique than other pages is because this is the landing page. As they say, first impression matter. So what this team, the person that developed this team did is to have a more attractive homepage, being the landing page, where the person attention, the audience attention will have been captured forwards, probably moving to other link. So I want to start with designing this particular section. So from here down to here is the header. Now from here down to this is the main body of the website, while from here down to this is the footer. So this is what we mean by footer, the last part of your website and the topmost part of your website. And when I said we are looking at header and footer, I believe with my explanation it is clear now. So in the header, we have the navigation bar. So how do we work on that? So let's go back to our development environment, which are WordPress backend. So from here, the first thing I'm going to do is to go to that appearance. So from appearance, we go to customize. Mind you, at this point, we have started editing or modifying content. But we want to start from modifying the topmost, which is the header, and then we will modify the footer. And then after that, we can now modify the body section. You can actually choose to follow the other way around, whereby you edit the header first and then the body before the footer. Now, the reason why I want to focus on the header first, because once I edit the header and the footer, it is applied to all the pages. Let me explain what I'm saying, because we need to get this very well before we start all the manipulation. Once I edit the whole of this section, it's just once modification. When you open any of these pages, whatever you modify in the first page it's applied to other. So as we are going to edit the header, once we edit the header that is responsible for all this about collection and the rest, I don't have to go to collection and start editing the header there. I don't have to go to blog and start editing the header there. I don't have to go to contact and start editing the header here. It is once modification for 1, 2, 3. Then I'll do a separate design for the home, because you can see that once you move from home to About Us, you have different header design from the landing page. So when you have a template like this, some of us, our template will not be like this. I have explained that to us in our last class. We all install different templates, which means that your website is expected to have different structure. So if peradventure your own does not have two different header, one for the landing page and the other one for other pages, then you are lucky. You can have only one that once you edit it, it affects all of other pages. Just give me a minute. All right, so now with that explanation, let's go back to our editing environment now. So I was giving us the step. How do I edit? The header I want to edit is this one. So once I'm done editing this one, then I will move to the one that will affect others. So how do I start by editing my theme navigation bar? I said you go to your WordPress dashboard, which we are now. And then from here, you go to appearance. And then from appearance, you go to customize. So I'm supposed to have opened it in a new tab so I can still have the current page. So let me go back. So go to appearance, then right click on customize and then select open in a new tab so that I can still have access to my root dashboard. Now, as soon as it opens like this, still loading. So let's give it some time. Okay, so as soon as it opens like this, you have all your components. All this you are seeing, they are very, very important components. But at the moment, we are focusing on this link, which defines the header, the footer, and the template pages. So from this link, we should be able to edit our header, our footer, and then our templates, and then of course our pages. So we have these options here. So I'll follow that link. So from that link, you can see what I was explaining to you. You can see these are the two different headers. So if you follow this link, you are going to be editing this particular one. Then if you follow this link, you are going to be editing for about collection and the blog. So from here, this is the one I'm editing. I'll click on it. Now you can see that it's loading with page layer. That page layer that you saw, it is called a plugin. It's the builder. Is the builder. So when we start editing the content, I am going to use Elementor if I want. There are a lot of WP web builder. When we say builder, that is what represents your HTML, which helps you to create and modify your content. So that is the reason why we are not writing code, because we are depending on WP, our builder, content creator. So the one that is going to create the content for us. So that represents two languages if you are to go by manual web development. The page layout that we saw that prompted us to this section is responsible for what HTML will have done for you. Of course, the role of the HTML, hypertext markup language, it is for creating contents. So all the content you see across websites, they were published with the markup language called HTML. The design that you also see on those contents was also implemented with a language called CSS, Cascade Style Sheet. Now, but because we are using a model or a method that does not involve writing code, so what is now substituting HTML is your builder. So there are a lot of builder out there. We have Elementor, we have page layer. Now, this page layer that I'm using right now to design my header is one of the default builder that comes with your installation of your WordPress. Remember when we were installing this theme and templates, it was an option that was prompted, and we checked it. And that is the reason why we have access to it. So admitting we did not check that option, then we will have to start installing a plugin, either installing it here or installing another equivalent web builder that can do the same work the page layer is going to do. So for us to understand it, probably when I get to the body section, I am going to install Elementor, because Elementor is one of the, will I say, is one of the best WordPress builder or content builder. But recently, they added this page layer, which is also very powerful. There are a lot of them, not just these two. So in case you want to expand your research, but you will see WordPress user either using Elementor or using what? Page layer. Now that you understand what the page layer is a plugin that enables us to modify or to create our web content. That is how we can define it. Now, what we are seeing right now is the modification aspect of the header. How do I know that I can modify? Now, let me see if I can show us something like this. You can see that when I hover on this Zeal computer or any of this link, I am not seeing this icon that we are seeing here. But now if I hover here, you can see the block. So that block we are seeing is just like a div, just like a section. So this is a section. This is a section. So what is happening here is modeling the header. So what by modeling? Modeling means you are sectioning that header. So in other words, the header has two major sections. A section, the first section that is holding the name of your company, and then the next section, which is holding the links. So you can see the frame has already defined the structure. So that's the first thing you need to understand, the section. Now, when you hover on this, you will see this pencil. This pencil means what? You want to change, you want to modify what you are currently seeing in that section. So if I click on this, it means you want to delete everything you have in that section. Then this one means copy. If I click on it, it means that what? You want to duplicate what you have in that section. So let me click here to remove it. So I just want us to understand how the layout is structured before we start modifying. Because if you don't understand this, you may wrongly probably edit or talk to the wrong element. Where you want to edit hope, you now mistakenly what? Start editing it because you don't understand the concept around the sectioning. So I want to start from here. Now, supposing I want to change the whole of this text, you can see the way the text is breaking. I want it to be in a single line, or I want to abbreviate it so that it can be better fitted to that particular location, to ZCT, which represents what? Zeal Computer Training. So if I want to change the color of those write-up, or I want to change the handwriting, so any of these, if you want to change them, you have to click on this. Then once you touch the pen, something will happen. I want you to observe what happened. The moment I touch this pen, then this place communicated something different. Now you now have option. You now have setting. Now, I want you to pay attention. So I click here. Now from this, I have access to this. Now we have the typography. The typography is where you can work on the fonts. The current font size is 45. Remember, I said in case I want to change it, so you can see that what? As I'm changing it, is also what? Affecting the entire what? Block, because the write-up actually expanded the whole of that section. So you can do that. The font family, that is the handwriting, you can click here and change it. You can see that I am beginning to what? To modify. But mind you, as I change to this font, Time New Roman, I am able to make it one line.
But make sure that you have what we call consistency. It's very important when you are building, when you are creating user interface, because right now, what we are designing is the website user interface. You have to be consistent because it's one of the advantage of using WordPress. Now, what is the consistency here? You can see that the handwriting you use for all these that are in that same block, they are different, which does not really portray that you are a professional. You have to choose, you have to use a kind of handwriting that cut across the whole, at least everything you have in the whole of that block should use the same writing. So you have to be mindful of that. Don't just say because it allows it to be on one line, so you just go ahead with it, except you have intention of changing this. So I'll go back there and choose what? The default. So the default correspond with this. Now, I think what I should focus on is the size, but we are still editing this at the moment. Now, in case I want to, let me just play around this font style. You can see that this is the CSS now. Your font style is where you want to either change the appearance from normal to italic, that is what, to make the write-up slanted, or to, to oblique. So which is giving us almost the same thing with what? The italic. So I can stay on what? Normal. Because you need to also be relating the appearance you are having in that particular session with other session. How is whatever you are doing in that session affecting or complementing, improving, enhancing other session matters. Don't just focus on the appearance of what you are getting there. See how it's relating to other section. So now what I am explaining is how you can change the appearance of your content. So this is the cascade style sheet, which is the CSS aspect. Now your variant, your font variant, you have some, you can say what? Normal, which we are now, or you want, sorry, so I have to go back there and click on that in order to what? To bring back my editing, then go to the typography, and then I was on the variant. I've not explained font weight, so let me talk about that. Font weight is where you want to talk about the thickness, what we know as bold. So I can say, okay, bold, you can see that what the text is bolder, and that complements this home better. So that is exactly what I was saying. You can see that as soon as we added the bold, then it complemented this particular word information better than the way it was. So I'll stay on that. The font variant is talking about whether you want capital letter. So this is another handwriting. But the issue I have with this handwriting is that it's totally different from other areas. So I will not want to use it, except I have the intention of changing other ones. The decoration line. So let's say you want to add some effect, let's say overline, like that line at the top of that particular write-up. You may want it, but for me, I don't need it. So I will just take it back to what? None. Then we go to line height. We are still under typography. Typography is what envelop all your basic text formatting features. So now your line weight, your line height is what determines the distance. So from this, you can increase it, you can see. So you can see that with this, I have been able to what? Reduce the space I was having between the two lines. So that is the function of what? The line height. Then text decoration. Text decoration where you can have capital letter or where you can have uppercase. You can see that I've changed all the write-up to capital letter or true. You may need all this. This might be the best appearance you want. But what I am focusing on right now is how you can access all this. So you can also check what? Lowercase. So at the end of the day, you check which one is better. I want to stay on capitalize, only the first letter of each word that should be in capital letter, while the rest should be small letter. Now, text spacing. This text spacing is very important. We want to create some space between the Z and the E, the character, the letter. We want to space them. Maybe that may give you a better word user interface. So let's play with it. So you can see as I am clicking, is expanding. Since I still have space, you can see I have enough space between where I have my navigation links and this word, my tag line. So I can still have some space, which makes it more presentable. Now, why you need to make sure that all these are consistent is to enhance what we call Google SEO. So whatever we are designing, I want us to be working with the mindset of a digital marketer, because website is a digital marketing platform. Okay, so which means that it is a digital channel where you are showcasing products for someone to buy, for you to make money. So based on that, you need to have a very strong user interface. So when we started this training, I used the word UI and US, user interface, and user experience. So why am I considering all these features that will give me a better presentation to my users? Is because I want to give them good user friendly environment that will encourage them to keep visiting my site, for them to keep seeing my updates that will end up them buying my products, that will end up increasing my revenue. So that should be your focus. I don't want anyone here to be thinking like a mere developers. So whatever we are doing, I am taking it based on digital marketing, because this is where the money is. The ordinary web developer that develop websites without digital marketing mindset, they use colors anyhow, because they are not targeting audience. So their focus is to display their technical skill, that they can use red color without considering how is the red complementing other. So everything we are going to be doing, we are going to be bearing in mind color combination and a very good structure that can foster or enhance Google SEO. What is Google SEO? Google SEO means Google Search Engine Optimization. So every website you publish should be Google SEO friendly. In other words, for Google to rank your website. For example, now, if I go to Google now, let's say I want to search for institution around Asaba or around Nigeria that offer tech training. Once I type computer training in Asaba, Google is going to display some name of institution. The question is that some of them will not be displayed. So which means that Google has a way of ranking your website. And that's the reason why whatever I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be bearing that in mind, so that whenever people are searching for a product, once they enter the keyword that was used or that is used in my website, Google will be able to present my website first, because of the way the user is friendly, because of the way my layout is consistent, because of the way my website is responsive. Website responsiveness is the ability of your website to be compatible, to be compatible across different devices. This website that we are developing, when a mobile user opens it, how will it display? Will this Zeal display maybe at your right-hand side and the computer display at your left-hand side? If that is the case, it means that your website is not responsive. So all these, I'm bearing them in mind. That is why I'm telling us all this, so that when you start editing, please, I want everybody's website to be Google SEO friendly. So now, so the next thing I'm going to do I'm still trying to explain the role of this. So we also have what? Word space. So I can check here. You can see that word space is the space between one word and the other. But I don't need that word space. So in case it was too much, then I can reduce it. So with that, I have explained everything we have under what? Typography, which are under setting. Okay? Now, once I have done this, once you edit anything, once you change anything, you must update it so that it can become live. You can see what we have here right now. So let me go back there and what? Update it. Once I update, then I will go. You can see this message that says, well, post content was what? Updated successfully. So anytime you make any change, please, you must always what? Update so that it can go live. So if you are building this website for a client, if the person has finished paying you, I repeat, if the person has finished paying you, that is when you can tell them that they should be checking what you are doing live. Because if the person is still owing you huge amount of money, please, while you are doing all this, don't tell them yet that their website is live. Because once they start seeing some content, they will be reluctant to pay your balance. So you can be doing this, tell them that the next 1 week, the website will come live. But meanwhile, the website is live. Now, let's go to the front end and refresh and see whether there's any impact to what we have done. So you can see, so the impact has been affected. You can see we are having a different appearance from what we're having on this session that we have already started what? Editing. So this is how you work. Once you tamper with anything, you finalize it, you update it, then you come to your front end, you refresh the browser and see the outcome, and then you now clap for yourself that, wow, okay, I have done something. Now, let me go back and go and continue my editing. So this is where we are editing. So now I am leaving this section and then enter this section. But before I leave this section, I want to draw our attention to, if I want to rename, maybe I want to change the content, not styling the content. Supposing I want to change it to Z computer, because I don't like the way this training is displayed. So I want to make it just 2 words. So how do I do that? When you click here, you go to option. So now from option, now this is how you see, because depending on the template you are working with, whatever you need, if you cannot find it under option, then you will find it what? Under contents. Okay. Now, if I go to content now, I'll click on this. Then once you click, it's not allowing you to edit it. It means that this is not where you should edit this particular content. And I believe that you will agree with me that truly this is not where you are to edit this. If you want to change this, you are supposed to have done that from your roots, from your main page. So this is not where you are to change it. So let me just do everything here. If I want to change this particular place, remember that when we came in here, before I follow, I don't want to leave here now. Okay, if I leave here, I have to come back. When we click on customize, it took us to where we have list of items. And remember, there was a place where we have site identity, where we change our logo the other time. So that is where you should edit this content. So this content rather. So what you can do here now is to modify it, to change it. So all that I've done, they are under, remember I'm still under setting. Under setting, I picked this from what? From typography. So now that I'm done with that, I can come here and choose another one. The background of that section, in case I want to give it a color, because right now it's using this general background color. So how do I change only that particular section color? Then I'll go to what? Background. Remember that what? You are still on that particular section, editing mode. And then I always switch from setting to what? Option. So that I can have access to what? The background styling. So from here, I can choose color. So once I click on color, then you choose your color here. You can see the moment I pick color here, then you can see that that sectioner has a background. Then you can pick a color from this bar and then pick the particular one you want. In your own case, you may want color as a background, but I don't want it because it does not make my website look professional. So I will just click on this cancel to remove what? The background. I just want you to maintain the background the whole of the header is using. So that is just for you to understand in case your own templates need it. That is for color. Then if I want two color, that is gradient, two color. I want to blend two colors together. I go to gradient. Then I will select the angle of placing the two color, and then change the first color here. Let's say I choose this. And then if the color you want is not here, you can actually come here and type it. Red is allowed. You can highlight whatever you have there, type red. If, for example, you are looking for a color and it's not accessible from your color bucket, you can delete those hexadecimal code and type your color by name. So that is for if you are using two color. Then once you click here, you go to where you have your color 2, color 3, and so on like that. Now, if you want to use an image, maybe a picture, maybe you have a particular picture that is saying something about your service and you want to use it as a background. So I'll click on this image and that will take me to my media. So media are those pictures that came with the installation. So at the time they were designing the template, all the images they use are listed here. In case you want to use any one of them, you can go ahead and pick it. But supposing maybe you have your own image stored in your local system. For you to bring it here, you go to upload file, then you click on select file, and then you now look for where the image is. Now let's assume I want to use this logo as the image. Then you click, then it will load it. So you give it some time. You give it some time until you are seeing the picture of what you selected. Good. Then you can now finally select insert. So you can see that based on the size of that picture, that is the only part that could be captured. Okay, so I don't need that. I'm just trying to show us what these functions are. Then I'll cancel it. Sorry, I'll cancel it, delete it. I don't need it. Then as a matter of fact, I'm taking it back to none. Now, I want to also talk about hover. This hover in web design means additional effects that you are adding to an element or content, but an action will trigger it. It's not going to display by default. What do I mean by that? If somebody touch it, just like the way I'm touching it now, when they get to the page, let me just use this page. When they get to the page like this, they meet this as white text column. Now, I want to program it in a way that by mistake, they touch it like this. It will change to maybe another color. It will change to this color, so that it can balance this particular hover. Now you can see this is the hover effect. As I hover on this text, now you see those two lines that are coming out. Those two lines can only be seen when the user touch any of them. The same thing that hover effect was not added here, but I want to add it now in a way that when they touch this, then I want some effect like this so that you know how they design this effect you are seeing. So that is what we mean by hover effect. Now, when you are designing your hover effect, please always look at the actual effect so that your hover effect will be different from that actual effect. That is where it makes sense. So let's go back now. Let's go back. So to add the hover effect, you move from normal to hover. Now remember that this is still under background. Where we will have added the one for text is when we were on that typography. Now let's continue. So once I click here, I will choose my hover effect background color here. So my hover effect background color should be something like this so that it can complement this particular one. That's what I want. Okay. Now, I want to set the speed. You know, when you hover now, it takes some time before that effect comes up. It is called what? Delay. So if I want it to delay a little, then I will increase the what? The delay number. Then if I want it to increase, so you can set it here. Now let me update and go back to my front end and hover on this test. You can see that it's working here. Now even from here, I'm seeing it. Once I step out, step in, you see it. Once you step out, you no longer see it. So let's go to our front end. Now that we have updated, refresh the browser and then hover. You can see it. Once you step out, you will no longer see it. So that is what hover effect does. We are still on the navigation. We are still editing the header appearance. Okay. So now I can close this section if somebody have question. Okay, so let me allow the question provided it's not going to be. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, I wanted to ask, how can you identify the actual effect? Because you know your own had that hover effect. How can one identify the actual effect so that the person can use the same when applying that hover?
When you say actual effects, I don't think I am getting you right. Are you talking about the template or this particular effect that I'm adding?
This effect now that we're talking about. You said that we should identify it.
Okay, now I'm in editing mode now, and I'm in hover. Okay, like which of them? Is it here? Chidera, are you still
I'm asking, you said that before you choose the effect, when using hover, we should know the one that it was using before, so that it will balance. I think I heard that.
Okay. Now I get you. Now, see. The advice I was giving you is that if you look at this background now, what color are you seeing? What color? This is texture background, right? This is not solid background, right?
Yes.
But is it having red color? Is it having red color or something like red?
No.
What texture is it? What color is this?
The same color is, I think it's purple. So
good. It's purple, right?
It's not purple.
It's purple, right? Now, if you have hover effect, now as I'm hovering here now, if it's giving me the same purple, will I notice this effect?
No.
So that's what I mean. So you take note of the background color so that the background you're going to use for that hover effect will not be the same. If not, it will not make sense because you're only trying to get a focus that once they hover here, it will not attract their attention. You are trying to distract them from looking at other area and focus on that session. That is what you are achieving with the hover.
Okay, sir.
Exactly.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We are done with this. So I want to go to this section. I'm okay with this. Now, you can see that by default, no logo, no picture is added here. By default. So if I want to add something to this particular session, what you are going to do, you are going to use what we call what? Widgets or widgets. Widgets are like tags, because tags are what we use in adding content in HTML. So if I click on this plus you are seeing, will give me access to those widgets. Let's assume that when you were installing these templates, you type Zeal. When we were installing the WordPress, that place that says site name, remember site name, and then we now have site description. That is where I type this particular text you are seeing, Z computer. Now, let's assume that as I am editing, and now remember that, I don't want it to stop at Zeal computer training. I want to add maybe a picture, a logo to it. So now I need a widget. A widget is just like a tag now. So once you click on this plus, it means that what you want to add additional content. Then to now display all this, what I want to add is an image. So I will now click on image. Once I click on an image, it has automatically give me what? An image frame. Now, for me to call in my image here, I will click here. Now, once I click here, you take off this. Click here so that you can see it. Let's say, click on this edit. So from the edits, I want to see if it's possible. So I'll go to what? To image. So from image, I'll pick this. Then let's say I want to add this logo there. You know, I have already added it into my media, so I can just pick it and insert it. But the moment I added it, I discovered that what is not replacing it. Now, which means that what this is not the right place to add it. So I'll take it off and then also what? Delete this. But let me click here and go back to setting. Good. You see it? So the moment, you know, we were on option before. That is the reason why when I click here, it was not showing me this particular image frame. This particular image frame is not the one I should be working with. So now I have to switch to my setting. Then from setting, I can access this and then pick this and then click on insert. So you can see that what I have added the logo. Now this logo, I want to resize it. I want to resize it because it's too big. You can see the way it has expanded. Sometimes you can deliberately update and go to your front end to check how that logo is affecting the whole design. So you can see your design is no longer user-friendly. So for that reason, I have to go back there and work on the size of the image. So I will click here and select customize so that I can start reducing it the way I want it. So I'm going to, the image right now is, the size is 100 by 100. So for me to resize this, I will say 30 by 30. 30 by 30. So you can see that it's too small. So let me make it. Now, I'm also considering the fact in a way that it will not affect other things there. Now, let me make it 50 by 50. 50 by 50. Then publish it, and then go back to your front end, refresh, and see whether it's manageable. Now, the size of the image is manageable, but the image is not placed properly. Let me see if the template, if the template will allow me to place this image by the side. If it doesn't, then you use site icon, that favicon, so that they can be seen the logo on the browser. Where your team, most of us, our team, we permit you to put the logo here in front of it or after it. Okay, but where your team do not permit you, then you don't have any other option than to use it as your favicon, so that when they log in, they'll be seeing it. For example, let me show us this. The team I use in developing this particular site, you can see the team could not allow me to add the logo here. So what I did is to use the logo as my favicon. At least they can see the logo on the browser title, since I could not add it here. So if I was able to add it here, then there might not be need for me to have it this way. Okay, so now let me go back and see if there's anything we can do, because what is available to you is what you have access to. Towards the end of this training, I am going to show us how to buy theme, because it's not every website you are going to be building for clients with this free theme. This free theme, because they gave it to you because you purchased a domain. As a result of that, there are a lot of things you cannot do. You can only use it to build a basic and intermediate website. But if you want to build professional, or let's say high-class website, high e-commerce site, you have to buy. I am going to show us that before the end of this training, and how you can buy it, so that when you have a client, you don't need to depend on this free template if the client is paying you up to like 1 million. So like, for example, now there is a site I want to build for Ministry of Water Resources in Delta State. Now, there's no way I'm going to use this kind of free template because they are paying almost 1 point something million for it. And the contract is given toward NIT, but I am the one that will execute it. So they are paid. So I will get the money for buying the thing from my boss, and then I will buy the thing. So when we start it, when I start probably next week, I will show us the progress. But like I said, once we are done with this whole training, I am going to teach us how you can buy, which website you can go and buy a professional team. You can see a team as low as $70, $30, depending on what you want. When you are buying those teams, you will have access to where you can put the logo as you want. You can put the logo before the test or after the test. You will have that privilege. But because we are using free, we are experiencing some constraint. So I believe that explanation is clear. Now let me go back to my editing page and see. So now if I carry this now and put it here, you can see I move it, I click on that image and drag it. So I am able to place it at the top. Then if I click again and drag it down, then I have brought it to the bottom. Now, if I am putting it by the side, you can see that it's not permitting me to place it by the side. So I only have the privilege of placing it either at the top or at the bottom. So let me refresh and see if I can manage this or not. Okay, so if it is okay like this, fine. But I don't want to use it. I'm only using that to teach us how you can add something else to what you type at the time of installing the WordPress as your site title. Okay, so I'm leaving this section for now. I am leaving this section for now. But each time I want to leave this section, something will occur to me that I need to show you. Now, I'm still on this section. Now, if you go down to click on the option, I'm going down. Remember that we have used what? Background. You have what? Border style. You have font style. We have done that under typography. So there is something I want to do here. Animation. Animation. Now, I want that text. When they enter the page, the text will just zoom out like this and zoom back. An effect, as an effect. So that is animation. So I'll click here. I will have access to some animation. So you can see zoom in. So if I click here now, you can see that what the text will zoom in like that. But if I want to set the speed of that, this is where you control it. This is where you control it. If you want to be faster, there you have other effects. Sorry, this is where you set the speed. Fast, slow, or fastest, or slowest. So I can select any of it. Then the delay is how long it will stay before that effect plays. So let's leave it at that, what we have there before, which was 400. Now let me update and go back to the front end. Now let's refresh. You will see it now. Can you see it? So this is a way of entertaining them. You added animation, making it look attractive. Okay, so now most of these that I'm doing now, they are also they are going to be replicated in other things we are going to do. So it's not as if I'm taking too much time on this particular one, because most of these that I'm explaining now, by the time I need them again in other parts, I may not spend too much time because I have explained them here. So now that is for the animation. Now, motion effects is where you can say, okay, maybe it should scroll or it's based on mouse. So if you turn this on, then you now see what scroll vertically or horizontally. So if you select enable, it was enable it to scroll vertically. Actually, it is not compulsory you use all of them. You can decide to choose what works for you. But because we are learning, that is why I'm like, exposing us to some of these things. So after the class, you can actually go there and play around them. The beauty part of it is that when you touch anything and you refresh, you go to your front end and check, you will see the impact. Where you don't need it, you come back and what? And turn it off. So you can be playing around all this before the next class. So let me update and go back to my front end, refresh and see whether I'm good to leave that particular section. Good. So I'm good to leave that section. All right. So now I go back. So I'm leaving the whole of this. So now let me come to this section. Let's assume that I want to edit some effect here, maybe the color. You click on the edit mode icon, and that will also output some of these things that I have been explaining. So you can see exactly what I was saying. So those same features that were available for modifying this, as I'm editing here now, I have access to them. So if it is a color I want to change, if it is the hover, the background over effect, I want to edit. If it is under setting, then you can see that under setting, you now have access to each of them. So for example, I want to edit this particular home to have different appearance from other. So I will click on it. So from here, if I want to change it, maybe I want to edit, you can see that this one permits me to edit because this wasn't typed from my installation, but this one was typed from my installation. Now, supposing I want to change this to another text entirely, let's say not home, you can edit it, but I don't want to edit it. Now, this effect that you are seeing, this menu type is called what? Fly out. So if I click here and I'll see mega menu, then I will check how it look like. You can see that what? It now gave me what? A drop down automatically, just because I switched from what? Fly out to what? Mega menu. So if I click on what? Column menu. So once you click, like I told you, you can always see the appearance. There is nothing wrong with you trying. After the class, be playing around all this. If you apply anything and it's not giving you what you wanted, you remove it. For example, after adding this, if I'm not okay with this, then I will go back and change it to what? To fly out. Then if I scroll down, I will see what? Other effects. If I say what? Sub-menu style, remember for those of us that created a drop-down style, all those drop-down link, you want them to have different style. You know, like the other one that we did the other time, when they click on more, you know, it brought out some list of menu. So if I want the appearance of those drop-down items to have different design, that is what you do with that what? The sub-menu. Okay, so now the slide, where are we now? We are still under, let me click here. Then we are under setting. So you can see the width of each of them. If I want to adjust it, you can adjust it. You want to probably work on the toggle style. That is the drop down, the size, the font size. You can touch some of these things as you want. So once you are through, like I said, you click on update. But I still want to do some things there. Let me be sure that we are still here. And then under setting, remember that what? We click on this. So you can click again to bring it back. There are some things I want to put there. Let me see if this particular theme have it. I'm looking for icon. Let me see if I can have access to it here. Okay, so this theme does not have it. Okay, so I have icon position. Let me see. This theme does not have what I'm looking for. But in case Okay, good. I think I have it here. Choose icon. Choose icon. Good. This is what I'm looking for. So now, beside this link that we are editing, that home, I want to add an icon to it. So I will choose my icon from this list. So drag it down and search. So I want an icon that will be pointing to the right-hand side. Oh. So I'm looking for a better icon. Looking for a better icon. I'm moving so fast. Okay, so let's say I want this one. So once I click on it, check that particular, you can see that I've added an icon beside it. So that is the design. I can add this icon to all of them. So when you click here, if the icon you want is solid icon, you select it. If the icon you want does not fall under solid, you go to regular. So regular, you see some there, or you search it out. Then you can go to brand. So, but just try and search for or see one of them that goes with what you are doing. So I want that one to be there. I just want us to know that you can actually what? Add icon beside your link. So let's go to the front end and refresh and see. Good, I have it there as a design. So like now, the best place to use this icon is where you have a drop down like that more, in your own. I installed a new template. So I don't want to take our time to start creating those pages. That is why I went straight to this editing. But in your own, the best place you are to add this icon is where you have that more, so that it will be telling them that they are to click there to see more information. So now, once I've done that, go back. So that is how, once you update, you can exit from that section. So we are through with this. So I'm okay with this section. So we are going for 10 minutes break. So that 10 minutes break is not actually break for you. You are to edit your header. So I will enable you to share your screen. I want to stay on your screen. I'll be asking you to change your screen just to be seeing what you are doing, just to allow us to try some of these things we have done before I proceed. If you have any question, fine. You can ask a question. If there's no question, let me share my screen and allow you to. Okay, somebody have a question. Okay, ask your question. Sabella.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, sir. A network was disturbing me. You put this home. How did you put the arrow? Down? How do you put it down?
Okay. Now, what I did was, I first of all change this section to editing mode by clicking on this pencil. And that brought out this. Now, I was under option when I selected this, and then you go to setting. So from setting, you can see your menu. So these are the menus. This is where you can view each of those menus you have there. Now let's assume that I want to add it to contacts. I'll click on that contacts, which means that what I'm expanding, I'm currently editing contacts. So from the contacts, I will go to where I have icon, choose icon, then you click here. There you will see list of icon. So you take your time to search for the one you want, you can take it down gradually. So let's say I want to use this. So once I click, you will see it added to what? To contact. So that is not a good icon, but at least that is how, when you add it and you don't like it, you remove it, and then you simply what? Choose another one. So let me choose something like this, and then you update. So that is how I added the what? The icon. Hope it's clear now. You just
Yes,
take your
sir.
time and
Yes.
choose the one you want. Any other question?
Okay, sir.
So I believe we should start working now. Everybody start editing your header, start from here, play around those things that I've touched so far. When I come back, I'll move to the next part. Please, can I see someone else screen? Okay, good.
I'm sharing my own now.
Yes, I'm seeing it. Please, everybody, make sure you are working. Just keep working and doing what you are doing. Joy, please off your audio. Who is Joy? Okay, someone else should share that quickly. Who else is working? Share your screen. Who else is working? Please share your screen. Okay, Omoibo Joy. Please, can we see your screen? Let me see what you are doing. This is Omoibo. Are you here?
I'm here.
Please, can you share your screen? I want to see what you are doing.
Okay, sir.
After you have coming to Cynthia. After Cynthia, I'm coming to Freeborn. You are just starting.
So I've been having network issues. So.
Okay, so This break is just 10 minutes. Once the 10 minutes is over, we'll resume the class so that we can close on time. You can actually take your time before the next class to play around all this. Like I said, make sure you are writing down your steps in case you are not able to practice everything. You can take your time better. The way you actually learn WordPress is after lecture, you take time. That's why it's called content management system. It's about managing content. All right, I think somebody have a comment here. All right, so please let's continue. Let's continue because I just want to edit the headers and the footer today so that in our next class, we can now focus on the main body. Then gradually, our sites is coming together. Can we proceed now, please? Let me check my front end. All right, now let's quickly look at footer. How do I customize my footer? How do I customize my footer? So let me take off this. Now, before I even talk about the footer, remember that this is my own team. This my team has two headers. And the one we have edited is what? The home header, which means that if I click on About Us, everything we have done will not be seen in that About Us, can only be seen in homepage. So I'm trying to go to click on About Us now to see. So you can see all the editing we have done so far did not affect other link except home. And that is why we have this. Thank God that the window is still open. So now for me to edit other header, I will click on this header. So whatever you do here affects other ones, starting from the About page down to the last page. So let me quickly do something there briefly before we round up with the footer. All right, so you can see almost the same thing that we did. So what I want to edit here now is this particular background where I have the cloths. So you can see that this particular site, the person that edited it is actually creative because from the header, you are seeing the services the person offers. So it's a creative concept. Now, if I want to change it, you can see what I click now. Now I am editing the entire background. That is what I want to edit here. But if I want to edit here, I don't want to waste my time here because you can use that same knowledge that I use while editing this section in homepage to edit this. So you can take your time to do that if your own structure is the same. But I want to talk about how we can actually change this overlay. It's called background. You know, I didn't touch background in the other one because I wanted it to be like that. Now, let's assume that I don't want to use, I have a better image I want to use. Instead of, I'm not touching any of the text, but here, I just want to change the background. Now, while you are here, you see the frame. You see, as soon as I click on the frame, right now I'm selecting the entire div. Now, I will go to background. I'll go to background. So from background, I have these parallels as the image. So if I click here now and choose a background, sometimes you have to go to Google and download a good background. Well, let's say I'm changing it to this now. And then click on insert. So you can see that what I have changed it now to this. No longer those cloth images. So you can do the same thing that I did here now with the other one where we're editing home, but I decided to stay on that background, that purple. I don't want to change it. Well, supposing you want to change it the same way that I'm doing it here now. Now, there is what we call overlay. Overlay. Overlay is what we transparent it and make it look as if it's faint, as if it's blending. So this background is for the front view. You can change the size here to large. You can change it to what? To medium. You can control it either from the center to the right or to the left, depending on how you want to position it. Then you can set your maximum width. And please, now, in case you want a slider, maybe a background that will be moving one after the other, not a static background like this. You don't use parallels. You go to what? Slider. If you want to use a video, let's say it's a video that you want to use as a background, then you click on video, you upload it. So for slider, I'll click here. You can see that once I click here, it will ask me to add the pictures that will be sliding one after the other. So I'll just click here and pick some pictures here. If I don't have those pictures uploaded here, I will go to what? Upload and bring in those pictures. But let me come here and bring them so that we can still learn how to do that. So I want this picture to be one of the slider. Now you can see that it's telling us that the image is too big. Now, you may not be able to change this setting. The maximum upload size is exceeded. Where you have this kind of issue, you will not be able to change it from your own end. But I will change it now so that you learn it. Where you'll be able to change it is when you host after the learning. You know, right now, I'm your host. I'm the one that gave you a link you are using to work. So you don't have access to the root cPanel for you to be able to upgrade it. But for you to know it, in case after the whole class, you now buy your domain, where you will now have access to your cPanel as you want, you'll be able to increase. So anytime you are doing something like this, and you want to must use that picture that is complaining that is too high, what do? I want everybody to be writing down these steps. Or maybe later when you watch the video, you write down the step. It's a technical step. So what I'm going to do is that I will go to my cPanel. And to go to my cPanel, I will just go to, I want to log in through my hosting client dashboard, which is part of what we learned in the first class. So I'll go to my account. I'll go to my account. I don't have the cPanel password and the user for this particular digitech key that I'm using to train us now. That is why I'm going through this. Wait, it's like I have it. It's like I have it because this method will be too long for you. Let me just check it. Calculating where I have it. Okay, so let me check, because that is the method that you should know. This one I want to follow now might be a long process. Let me search for where I have this. Just give me a few minutes. Make sure you are following. There is this one or this one. Let me check this. It's not this. No, I save it somewhere. Let me take time to look for it. For those of us that hosted on their own, you should be able to do what I want to do now. Okay, I think this is it. Okay. Now, if you hosted on your own, your email, they will have sent you this. So now, if I want to go to where I can change that setting so I can increase the maximum upload, I am going to type the whole of this URL. In the browser. Then you now say /cpanel. Remember that we are still on the steps on how to increase your WordPress maximum upload. Step number 1, go to your cPanel. And to go to cPanel is the step we are following now. So now it's asking me for the username. So let me copy the username from here. This is the username. I'll paste it here. Then my password is copy it, paste it here, and then you log into your back end. So I think there's an error. That's what I wanted to. So where you are having this kind of issue, let me just go straight to the other way. But with this, admin, I was able to log in. The environment it will take me to is what I want to access through my client dashboard. So from here, so this is the particular website we are working with. So I will go to hosting, select share hosting. If the other method work, if I was able to log in, maybe I've edited the password. Yes. If it works out, there's no point of following this. But where it will have landed us to is where we are about to access now. So I will now locate it. This is the one. I'll go to manage so that I can access that cPanel that I was logging into now. Because I am the one that hosted it, I was trying to log in with my password. Good. So this is where it will have brought us to if I was able to log in there. So once you have access to this place, you will now go to this section. Sorry, you go to this software section where we access the WordPress. Then you now select this particular option, which is called multi-PHP what in the editor. So you click on it. So it will open it like this. Then you select the website you are editing, which is what? This. I'll click here. And then I will now scroll down to that maximum upload that is set at 2 megabytes. So you can see. So this is the reason why once you are uploading any picture that is above 2 megabytes, it will show you that error that we saw there. So once it's happened like that, you come back, you follow this process and come here, edit this. I'm changing this to even 30. Or let me put a word 64. 64. And then anytime you are changing this, you have to also change what? Your post maximum size. Because if you are uploading this, you are going to post it. So the size of this should be higher than this. So I can give you 128. Then I think those are the only two that I need to update. Once I've done that, I'll select what? Apply. Then it will update me that what? I have successfully upgraded the So I don't know whether if you were with me before my network time out. Were you with me on this section? Somebody should respond. I want to know if you
No,
were.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But you notice when I change this and this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so after that, I click on what? Apply, and it prompted out successfully apply. Now, I will now go back to my WordPress, where we are editing. We have so many. I need to close some of them now. Let's go to where we are having that error here. You will see that. Let me re-upload again. That same picture I was trying to upload. So what is it saying now? Error. Okay, let's reload this page. Let's reload this page. Okay. So here, we're on the background, and then on the slicer, added, select this, pick this, click. So you can see it now, it's not going. So whenever you have that issue, you have to go to that cPanel to upgrade the size. If not, any other, even short video or heavy images, it will not allow you to upload them. So remember what led to this. We want a kind of slider, a kind of background that will be showcasing different images. So now we have added one. I will say what? Create a gallery. But before that, you first of all add all the number of pictures you want to use. So we have added one. I want to slide like just 2 pictures. So let me just go and add another one. I don't know if I added that one. Good, it's added. Let's add another one. So let's say I want to add this, to add this. So all the picture you are adding here are the picture that what will be scrolling across all the header from about to the last, except that home page where we have its own differently. So I will just work with these two, but you can add as much as possible. Then once you are done with this, you now click on add, you now click on create new gallery. So once you click here, you have both of them. You can set the speed here, speed in millisecond, how fast the pictures will scroll. So, and how many times it will, how many times it will scroll? Let's say, well, 3 times. So you have 3 column, you have 4 column. So let's leave it at that default. So it's still, in case you want to add any short description to these images, you can click on this place that say capture and then click. Then I'll finally click on, or how I want them to be seeing the picture. Is it medium size or large or full size? I want that to be thumbnail so that they can see all the picture. Then finally click on what? Insert. Then once you have done that, you can see it now. You can see what is happening. You can see. Good. Now you will now update. You update. If I want to see it across all the links. So let's go to our front end. Once the update is completed, we will now go and check whether we have that published across all the pages. So let's wait, good, successfully. Now let's go to our front end and refresh. Remember, this is what we programmed to see in our homepage. We are expected to see what we did now when we select any of this. So let me click here now. Now you are seeing it here. Now, there is an issue here. We have to change the image we change is the overlay instead of what? The actual image. That is why we are having this display. So what we will have clicked on, let me cancel this and select here. So you can see that right now where I click now, I'm on the general image. Then I will now go to overlay. For overlay, select this picture. So I can upload one of them. Let me wait for my media. I want to pick from the one I have uploaded before now. Good. So let's say I am choosing this one. Or let me choose this one. Okay, so I have replaced all of them. Now I will no longer be seeing the other one. Now, if you remove this one, you now have access to only this one. But I want both of them. One should be at the front, one should be at the background. Then the effects, you can see that what your hover was added to only the overlay, not the actual background. So I will update. So this is what you'll be having across about link collection. But when you go to your home, you will not be having that the first background. So I believe with that, I can now go to footer before we end the class. I don't want it to be too much so that you can take your time to practice all this. So everything I've done is what we did in the first header. So it's something that you can actually do. So let me add the footer. So for the footer, sorry, I have to play again. So I want to close some of this so that we can focus on the footer. For having too many windows, we confuse us. Okay, so for the footer, like I told us the other time, footer is the bottom section of your website. So for this particular website we are editing, let me quickly show the footer so that I'll point out some things we want to change. So if you go down, the footer, we don't have whole footer and other footer. One footer for all of them. So whatever you do now affects both the footer you have in your home page, the footer you have in your About Us page, and the footer you have in your collection page. Now, this is what we want to. So the next class is where I'll be teaching us how to change the content. Today we are focusing on editing the header and the footer. So you can see this is the footer. So this footer is what the only information that blend with our own is this. Every other thing, they are not our details. So even all these social media, how to link them to our real social media pages, they are not our own. If you click here now to take you to their own page. So how do we edit this section is what we want to look at now. And that will be the last part for tonight. All right, so write down your step again. So to edit your footer, log into your WordPress dashboard, which I'm already in now. Then once you log in here, also go to Appearance and select Customize. Supposed to open it in a new tab, but since it's, let me go back. I want to open it in a new tab because At some point, I may want to come back to this page. So from appearance, right-click on Customize and select Open in a new tab. Let's wait for it here. So all these things that we are doing easily, if you ask those guys that are here, I know some of them are here, that are learning manual coding, they will tell you the number of days it will have taken them to what? Or the volume of code they will have written for them to achieve all those things we are achieving very easy. Now here, we'll click on this same link because footer is part of this link. Remember the other time, I was not able to change that Zeal Computer Institute. This is where you will have been able to change it. So then I don't want to come back here. So now you click here also. Now this time around, I'm clicking on footer. There, it will now also load. So like I told her, we are working with page layer today. I promise in the next class, I'm going to use Elementor to edit the body. So we are using page layer. Now you can see automatically we are in the footer. Now the footer, they are now in editing mode. Now you can see this editing icon. So if I want to edit this section, I will also click here. Once I click here, I want us to watch what will be happening. There are some that you will not be able to edit. They will redirect us to where we can change some information. Well, let's click now. Once you click, like I said, if you click here and you are not able to see the features, then switch from setting to option. One of them should give you access to the command. Now, once I click and I cannot see it here, come back here, you can see that I am not able to see. Now, if I try clicking here, okay, this one is what we typed there. You can't change it. This is where we should be working on now. So once we click here, you can see that it changed it good. Just like the way we are not able to change that one in the header. So this is where you can edit. Now, as soon as I click here, look at what's all this information. They are wrapped in P tag. For those of us that are learning the manual one, you understand the P tag. But for those of us that are not learning the manual one, don't bother yourself with this. Just come here, highlight all this, use your delete, clear them off. Whether you know tag or not, delete them. Then write your information here. So what should be here should be about this, a keyword that explain your services about us. So let's say what this platform, just using this platform enable people to learn how to build websites. So in case I want to modify the size, just highlight it. If you click here, it will give you a size. If you click here, it will give you another size. If you click here, it will give you another size. If you click here, it will keep giving you another size. So the least among them is this. So if you are okay with this, you go with it. If you are not okay with this, then you can now click on, all these are like Microsoft Word. You can now click on this. One of them is for changing the size. If you don't have it based on the theme you are using, so let's see if I don't have it, then I have to what? It means that what? I'm limited to what? To one of these. But based on the theme you are using, there might be another A that when you click on it, will show you what? A font size. But this one is for color. Then this one is for background color. So one is text color, one is for background color. So I can say, okay, I don't need it, or I return it to default. So let me return it to white. So that is how to edit this. Now, this social media, if you want to edit it, once you click on this section, it will output all the social media. For example, now I want to link this to my Facebook. So the company must have created their Facebook page. Then, so that once I click here, it will ask me to enter what? The URL of that Facebook. Now, for example, I think I've opened my Facebook here. Let's say I want to connect it so that in case you want to do it. So let me log into the Facebook. I hope it's open. I just pray that it should be open. So if you are building it for a client, you ask them to open a different Facebook for the business, not their personal Facebook, because the user does not need password to access this particular Facebook. So it's just a dedicated Facebook for the business so that everybody can have access to it. Good. Thank God that it's open. Now, once you open the Facebook, so the Facebook that they must have opened, they must give you access to it. You must log in. Once you log in there, you now click on the picture of that Facebook, the user picture. So once you click on the user picture, whatever you see here, copy it. Copy it, then go back to your editing section, footer, then touch here is Facebook you are linking right now. So this is Facebook icon in case you want to change the icon. Then the whole of this, you delete everything you have there, then paste that one you copied from there. Then if this is WhatsApp, so you can see it now, automatically it brings out this, but I don't want to pick from, I'm not linking this icon to any of these pages. I'm linking it to what? To the Facebook, so I'll stay on this. Now, I want to explain something else. Now, we have just 3 icons. Let's say this company has an Instagram page, they have Twitter page, they have WhatsApp. They even want to connect their WhatsApp. So when somebody gets to this site, they can just click and then it takes them to what? WhatsApp page. It's just like this now. If you come here now, if you click on what? Join Digital C, once you click here now, it's going to take you to what? To our WhatsApp what? Page automatically. So that is what we are trying to establish now. So now, if you want to bring WhatsApp on, is one that you will click. There, you have edited this one for Facebook. You now click on this one, change the icon of this one, change the icon of this to WhatsApp or any other one. So this is Google Plus. You would now say that it's not Google Plus that you need WhatsApp. So I can just type what? WhatsApp and see whether it will bring it out. If it does not bring it, then search through this. Good. You can see WhatsApp now. So once I click here now, it will now add what? WhatsApp icon. So you can see the way I'm increasing now. Then I will now go and get the WhatsApp link. The WhatsApp link. I believe you know how to check your WhatsApp link. So let me just switch from here and open the WhatsApp. Everybody close your eye. Don't see my WhatsApp content. So I want to show you how you can get your WhatsApp, because all these things you'll be doing there for the clients. So you are the one that will be guiding them on how to get all this link, because many of them don't know how to access it. So for example, now, if this is the page, I want to link them to this particular page we are working on. So I will just go to my status. Let me just go to profile. Let me, if it's on phone now, let me see. Okay, good. Just click on it. You see link here. So this link, I'm supposed to see the link here. Okay, let's say which of the link I want to click. Okay, let me see. No. That one is taking me to Sorry. Let me use my phone. I can easily get it on phone and paste it here so that we can see it. But if you are using your phone, it's very easy to get. Just tap on it. Then when you tap, you go down to where you have invite via link and then select copy link. So once you select copy link, then let me paste it in this group so you know how it look like. That wants to waste our time. So we have it here now. Let me update. So this is the link. So I'm going to copy this link, then go back to where I'm working. Select that, make sure you are on the WhatsApp icon. Make sure you are on that WhatsApp icon. Did I remove it? Oh. This is the first one. No, this is the first one. So I can mistakenly remove it. I want to be sure that is this one. So once you click on any of these to show you all of them, I want to be sure that this is the one I created for this Facebook. Okay, this is the one I'm working on now. Let me search again to be sure that WhatsApp. Okay. Now, this particular URL, clear it, then paste the one you copy from there. And then once I update now, we'll go and confirm some of these things from our front end now. Well, let's update first. Update it. Now let's go to the front end. We'll click on the icon, refresh the browser. We'll click on this Facebook icon and see whether it will take us to the Facebook page. And then we'll click on the WhatsApp. We'll see whether it will also take us to the WhatsApp page. Okay, so let's go there, update it. So let me click here now. Direct, so you can see it now. So that is taking us to the Facebook page. So this is how you link your social media. Let's wait for it. In the next 15 minutes, we should be able to round up. The network did not disturb us. Okay, so you can see that icon has been able to connect us to this page. So let me go back to the, I'm supposed to open it in a new tab. So let me try the one of WhatsApp. Oh, that means I added the WhatsApp twice. So I don't know which one I added the link, but let me try first. No, this one is their own. I think our own is the second one. That one is still bearing the default link. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Oh, I will have opened it in a new tab. Okay, so while it's loading, let's continue. Okay, so I was confirming if the WhatsApp is connecting. So I click on this one, which the one that I see bearing their link. I think this is the one we added it to. So let me click now and see. Good. So you can see that what is taking us to what? To the WhatsApp page automatically. Then from here, I will just click on join. So that is how to connect. That is how to connect social media icons. So you can bring more. You just want to search for their icon and add them and add the URL. So that is how you edit your footer. So all this other information, you want to edit them, you click there, click here, and then navigate to them, and then change the content you want. Like if it's, I want to edit my product. Remember that these are pages that you must have created. So they are showing here in case the user wants to know the policies that is guiding you using their data, which we have done in our previous class. So this is just to give you access to view the page. But those pages that you created, you are supposed to link them. Unfortunately, I did not create anyone today, but I know I inherited one. We inherited the return policy. So how do I redirect them so that from the footer, if they want to see the return policy, which page will they be taken to? If I want to add the URL, see what you are going to do. Thank God I still have my root page here, my dashboard here. So you go to pages. Remember how we got here? This is the page you want to link them to. Where is it? Return policies. Return policies. So you want them in a situation when they click on this link, it will give them access to your policies, which we have already designed in our last class. So now, how do I add the link so that when they click, then it will preview? Because after all, those links are not added. Those links are not added to your navigation bar, so they are not seeing them. That's the reason why you provide it. So those links that you created, some of them will be at the navigation bar, some of them will be at the footer. You can see that what product that we created, which is not in your navigation bar. You did not add product here, but product is here. You did not add a return policy in your navigation because you don't want to overcrowd that particular place. So now, if they eventually click here, where would they be taken to? Let's say they want to know before they buy a product, they want to know your return policies. So this is what you do. You come here and select it. Just click on view. Click on view. Just click on view or just right click on it. Let me see. We are supposed to see view here, but since it's not there, just right click on it. Let me see if I can get it here. I think I saw it there now. I'm coming. So you can see this view now. That's what I'm looking for. So when you hover here, there's no view here. But Adibi, you have this view here, where you have the view. When you click on it, to take you to the page. But let me show you another logic. If this method is too long, just open it. Just open it. Right click on this particular page. Open it in a new page. Then copy. Once it's fully open. So this is assumed to be your return policy. Once it has opened, copy everything you have here. Then go back to where you are editing. Go back to where you are editing. Click on this. Then in the URL here, paste it. Then you update. So which means that if they click on this, it will redirect them to that page. So for any other page you have here, if you have not added their default link, that is how you can create the link. Now, finally, before we draw the curtain, let's go and check whether this editing, this update is applicable to all the footer across all the pages. So let's go back to our front end. Let me refresh it. Okay, now this is what you are seeing right now when you are in your home page. Now let's go to About Us page, whether we are still going to be seeing the same footer. The same footer. So whatever you have edited in the footer, it affects all the pages footer. So you don't have to go to each of them and start editing. It is only in the header that you might have a structure whereby you have a different header design for the home page and then different header design for other pages. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, you ask. So in summary, what we have been able to touch today or learn today is how to edit our header and footer. So in our next class, what we are going to be focusing on is what? The body. Everything we have between the header and the footer, which will be our main content that we are advertising, is what we shall be focusing on. And then I will not be using page layer. I will be using Elementor so that you know how to use another page builder. Any question, please? Question?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Hello, sir.
I'm with you. Ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Go ahead.
On the header, like the two pictures you added to display, like for the slide. But the thing is, I don't know. The thing is, like the one that the picture we have before, is there any way we can remove it? Then these two will just be displaying like that. But the thing is
Yes,
not. The thing is,
it's confusing, right?
but
Yes,
yes,
you
it's
can
not in line. Like
it's just that the way I was selecting those frames. So when you select the first frame, if you select the first frame,
yes,
you'll be able to get it. But that time I was selecting, you know, the first time that I said I did it the first time I did it, I was able to select the first one. So if
yes.
what you will do is make sure that when you are selecting, try and see if you can select the first one, or you delete all of them and start adding afresh so that you know that you don't have them again.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's something
And
that you
then again, I don't.
go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir, I'm with
And
you.
then again, on my side, I don't know, I have some link that is clickable, but if you click on it, it will not take you to anywhere. That is on the body anyway.
Okay, can you share your screen? Let me quickly sort that out before.
Okay.
Share your screen quickly, so that we can close. Where is it? Just go straight to the page. Are you just opening it now?
Okay.
I thought you said you have
No,
opened
no,
it.
no, no, no.
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Where are those links? Just go straight to where you have the link, please, so that we can.
A minute, please, a minute.
Okay, I think the question you are asking, we will address it in our next class. But if you can use that
Okay,
method.
okay, look, okay. This is my set now, like this link now. Shop new arrival. Are you seeing it?
Yes,
Like if I click on this place now, it's clickable, but it's not taking me to anywhere.
we have not started editing body. Don't worry.
Okay, but this link is on my header. Is on my header. That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
It's on my header.
The way we are going to do it in the body, you will understand it. Don't worry. I don't want us to waste extra because to not take us to another lecture entirely. You will get that in the next class.
Okay.
I'm going to be working with different link in the body.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you.
Any other question? There's no question, then we'll draw the curtain here. So our assignment is to develop our footer, our header. Before our next class, I expect that every one of us, our headers and our footer should be carrying your information.